Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 16, Verse 1. A description of Jambudvipa. Rajovacha Uktah Tvaya Bhu-mandala Ayama Vishesha Yavat Aditya Tapati Yatra Cha Asau Jyotisham Ganaihi Chandrama Va Saha Drishyate. You're hardly reducing at all. Why it took so long? Rajovacha Uktastvaya Bhu-mandalayama Vishesho Yavadadityastapati Yatra Chasau Jyotisham Ganesh Chandrama Va Sahadrishyate. Raja Uvacha, Maharaj Parikshit said, Uktaha, already been said, Vaya, by you, Bhu-mandala, of the planetary system known as Bhu-mandala, Ayama Vishesha, the specific length of the radius, Yavat, as far as Aditya, the sun, Tapati, heats, Yatra, wherever, Cha, also, Asau, that, Jyotisham, of the luminaries, Ganai, with hordes, Chandrama, the moon, Va, either, Saha, with, Drishyate, is seen. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Parikshit said to Shukadeva Goswami, O Brahmana, you have already informed me that the radius of Bhu-mandala extends as far as the sun spreads its light and heat, and as far as the moon and all the stars can be seen. Please repeat. King Parikshit said to Shukadeva Goswami, O Brahmana, you have already informed me that the radius of Bhu-mandala extends as far as the sun spreads its light and heat, and as far as the moon and all the stars can be seen. Purport. In this verse, it is stated that the planetary system known as Bhu-mandala exists to the limit of the sunshine. According to modern science, the sunshine reaches Earth from a distance of 93 million miles. If we calculate according to this modern information, 93 million miles can be considered the radius of Bhu-mandala. In the Gayatri mantra, we chant Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. The word Bhur refers to the Bhu-mandala. Tat Savitur Varenyam. The sunshine spreads throughout Bhu-mandala. Therefore the sun is worshipable. The stars, which are known as nakshatra, are not different suns as modern astronomers suppose. From Bhagavad Gita 10:21, we understand that the stars are similar to the moon. Nakshatranam aham shashi. Like the moon, the stars reflect the sunshine. Apart from our modern distinguished estimations of where the planetary systems are located, we can understand that the sky and its various planets were studied long, long before Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled. Shukadeva Goswami explained the location of the planets, and this indicates that the information was known long, long before Shukadeva Goswami related it to Maharaj Parikshit. The location of the various planetary systems was not unknown to the sages who flourished in the Vedic age. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakhya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prasakano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyo eva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So thank you very much coming on to the Srimad Bhagavatam class.
True.
Been a long time. Hello. 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 Can you hear me? So it's the subject matter of astronomy. So it is not that we are lacking in any information. Of course, if you try to reconcile the statements made in the Bhagavatam and so-called modern astronomical observations, find that there's a lot of disparities. Often they are of conflicting interests because the school of thought are based on different presumptions. One is using what do you call that, instrumental observation, right? And the other is based on evidence from the Lord Himself. See, like this, the presumptions are very, what we say, because now with all the so-called explorations and all, they try to show you pictures, they're landing in Mars and Moon and whatnot. India himself also getting all caught up with this, Indians. Is it not? So much so they are becoming, or rather establishing themselves as the authority in this field. So of course our school is based on the word of God. And it is explained that anything you use the material senses, it's actually defective. The senses has got 4 defects, yes, you know, it's not perfect, it's subject to illusion, yeah, mistakes, and has got a cheating propensity. So based on these 4 defects, to come to an absolute conclusion, it is very difficult. Very difficult. It's already said in the Shastra. Here you can see this verse. The Lord says, anything that is not in relation with me will only be an illusion. Right? 2934. So you can see here,
ऋतेर्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness.
so you see, this is the point the Lord is making. So if you come from you substantiate any theory, not establishing the Lord as the focal point, then that becomes an illusion and to be in darkness. You understand this? The same point is also elaborated in 1087:25. In this verse,
Srimad Bhagavatam 10:87-25. जनिमसतः सतो मृतमुतात्मनि ये च भिदाम् विपणमृतं स्मरन्त्युपदिशन्ति तारुपितैः त्रिगुणमयः पुमानिति भिदा यदबोधकृताम् त्वयि न ततः परत्र स भवेदवबोधरसे. Supposed authorities who declare that matter is the origin of existence, that the permanent qualities of the soul can be destroyed, that the self is compounded of separate aspects of spirit and matter, or that material transactions constitute reality. All such authorities base their teachings on mistaken ideas that hide the truth. The dualistic conception that the living entity is produced from the 3 modes of nature is simply a product of ignorance. Such a conception has no real basis in you, for you are transcendental to all illusion and always enjoy perfect total awareness.
to this point here, so any presumptions made not in relation with the Lord, which is actually a fact, they all base their conclusion from material observations. They have no concept of the soul or the super soul for the matter. So it is says here that it is, can you go a little up? Somewhere down. So all such authorities base their teachings on mistaken ideas that hide the truth. You understand? They are so-called theories and all are based on this fact. And because it is based on matter, it is mistaken. I give you another example. They say gravity, right? That all these things are held by gravity. But in our teaching, it doesn't have 15:13 Bhagavad Gita. Can see here, it doesn't correlate. You see, Krishna is saying,
Bhagavad Gita 15:13. Gamavishya cha bhutani dharayamyaham ojasa pushnami chaushadhihi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakah. I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay in orbit.
You see that point there? It is not by gravity. It is by the power of the Lord. So because we are all coming from atheistic, just now I explained, our source of knowledge is all based on atheism, denying the existence of God. It all based on material speculation. Matter is the sum and substance. And we also get bewildered because they show you that the spacecraft is going and is landing in this so-called planet. Of course, they're a little short of sending a man there. It's all but unmanned kind of journeys. Their manned journey to the moon is a lot of question marks. So you see how you can be deluded, how you can be. So we have to more or less rely on the word of God. Because when you go to God and accept His word, then there's no question of mistake. No question of. But if you question that, then you try to reconcile it with the so-called modern exploration and whatnot, then yes, you may become very. Because the Lord's energy are very confusing. Maya is not something straightforward. Maya is very illusory. That's explained in the first verse of the Bhagavatam, 1:1:1 says here, you see. In this verse, you see, this word, Tejo Vari Mridam. You see that word there? Do you know what is the meaning of that? Trisargo Mrsa. You know what the translation of that means? Fire? See the translation. So one is bewildered by the illusory representation of water seen on fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universe temporarily manifest by the reaction of the three modes of material nature appear factual. You understand? Although they are unreal. So this explains that you may try to go, but it's all unreal. You cannot see, you cannot figure it out. It's the opening line of the Bhagavatam, spoken by who? That's it. So you cannot try to figure this out with your own mental strength. This is not possible. That's not possible. Although it may seem like, oh, it's so real. Just now you see the word? Bewildered. Water seen on fire land only because of the material unit temporarily manifested. Can you go a little, right? by the reaction of the three modes, appear factual. Although they are unreal, appear, everything becomes so real. No, they landed on the moon, Prabhu. You cannot argue on that. It's what? You follow? So this is how the Lord creates that illusion. Okay? But if you become a devotee, then you cannot become bewildered. You cannot, I think it's 3 to 10, is it? What? 3 to 10, is it? 3 to 10?
Srimad Bhagavatam 3 to 10. Devasya mayaya sprishta ye chanya dasadashrita bhamyate dhirna tadvakyayar atman yuktatmano haro. Under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls.
Brought the TV to Prabhupada, They brought, at the time in 1969, he brought the TV in Prabhupada's room and so Prabhupada, see, they're landing on the room. And Prabhupada laughed. You understand? Because you see, a pure devotee cannot be bewildered. It cannot be. If you are becoming bewildered, then something wrong. Something. So you have to be very careful that you are now being bombarded by so much so-called
propaganda.
What do you call it?
Propaganda.
Propaganda. That it can shatter the faith. It can what? And when it shatters the faith, you compromise. And when you compromise, spiritually you are weakened. You understand? That's why it says here, under no circumstance can the words of person bewildered by illusion energy deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered soul. You understand? You cannot go on the path of trying to compromise. That is okay, this is okay, this is science. This is what? It doesn't work. It does not. Because they are all based on material presumptions. And that it's already a flaw. I already showed you the verse. It is on what? Mistaken idea. Because anything does not include the Lord, then it's purely a waste of time. I think it's 1087, 37, 37, 1087, 37. Yeah, got that?
Is it that?
1087, 37, I think. So you see how the Vedic system, you have to accept in. Can you read this?
Srimad Bhagavatam 10:87-37. Nayadidamagrahasana bhavishyadato nidhanat anumitamantara tvayi vibhati mrishaikarse ata upamiyate dravina jati vikalpa pathair vitathamano vilasamritamityavayantya buddha. Since this universe did not exist prior to its creation and will no longer exist after its annihilation, we conclude that in the interim it is nothing more than a manifestation imagined to be visible within you, whose spiritual enjoyment never changes. We liken this universe to the transformation of various material substances into diverse forms. Certainly, those who believe that this figment of the imagination is substantially real are less intelligent.
That see, this is the big problem we have, We have our whole education system has been geared to deny the existence of God. And we have been bombarded with all this kind of so-called theories and ideas that mix with the modern 3D, setup and looks very, very realistic. That a person gets what? Mesmerized. I wouldn't say bewildered. I would say the word mesmerized, thinking this is real. But the big problem is that it erodes the faith in God. And that is the biggest challenge, because if you don't have faith in God, then what happens? First thing that happens when you don't have faith, 440 Gita. First thing that happens when you don't have faith in God, this is what happens. It's very dangerous, the way things are going. Because we are thinking is normal, we are going to school, so children are getting educated and all. But you see, the consequence of all these things so detrimental. See this?
Bhagavad Gita 4.40 Agnyascha Shraddhanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati Nayam Lokosti Naparo Nasukham Samshayatmanah. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next.
For the faithless, first thing what happens? They fall down. And then what happens? They get all doubts. First thing happens what? Fall down. They are going on the falling down path. I mean, consequences. And then what happens? You doubt God is there. You think God is there? I think this is all mythology. You understand? This is how the education system has illusion, or rather, I would use the word derail the faith of practically everybody. Practically questioning. Yes? Is it not? And if you carry on like this, then next life is understood you're going to become a what? You're going to become an animal or a fish or something. You see how the whole fall down means going down to lower birth? No. Yes. Is it nice that now you are in a human body, next life you take up a animal body, or even worse, fish body or tree body or whatever? Yes? And that's what we are gearing up, we are teaching everyone to doubt the revealed scriptures. We are teaching everybody to what? Doubt the... you say all this nonsense, but they already went to the moon. They have already landed in the moon, Prabhu. What you're talking about? And the consequence is this.
ISKCON
The
Bangalore.
consequence is
ISKCON.
what? What is the consequence? When you doubt the revealed scriptures, what happens? Maybe it's seeming like something very what? Marginal and but the effect is already there. You understand? Therefore, we should be very careful. We cannot try to think that they are right and we are wrong. Or we don't bother. That is nonsense. I don't know. I'm not going to the moon anyway. You understand? We have to solidify our faith, This is a very crucial point. We cannot compromise. We cannot, not possible. God is always right. And anything else is all. That's why just now I show you the verse, not to 9:34. Is it? Anything outside God is illusion. That's very important. Although it may be seeming like this verse is a little difficult to understand. Even Prabhupada, when he was translating this, he was praying, this is so difficult. He just gave the Sanskrit, that's it, you figure it out. I think just the Sanskrit and you can try and see what you can understand from that. This is complex. Because Sukadev Goswami, he had actually went to the heavenly planet, He went to speak the Mahabharata there in Swarga. Just like you get people going here, there for Sapta. So he went to the heavenly planet. And he could see what? From that angle. You understand? His vision is because he traveled. He what? So you could see how the structure of the universe. So, of course, we have to develop this faith in God and His words. And that will be a more safer cause than trying to reconcile or trying to give credit to those non-devotees who have got speculative ideas. Because any theory, I showed this now, which does not acknowledge the Lord hand in anything, it's a mistaken idea. Yeah? And of course, all their theories is based on what? No God. Like a simple example, the gravity. The Lord say, I enter into the planet and make it float. And because of my energy, it is staying afloat. But they will not give credit to God for this. Huh? They say gravity. Whose gravity? Huh? Very vague presumptions, So my recommendation is that you be forewarned, Be forewarned. Do not go to this point of trying to doubt the revealed scriptures. Because that's the dangerous path to take. And when you undermine your faith in God, then fall down is inevitable. Fall down is. So be warned, It's not that you can go on and trying to think science and everything else is God, it is place, whatever. I don't deny they made some advancement in their computer and whatnot. But still again, it is all the Lord who is giving the intelligence. Nothing can work without the input of the Lord. Yes? Can anything work by chance? Prabhupada gave a whole class on that, by chance. This chance theory is totally bogus. Totally. There's nothing happened by chance. Everything is determined by the Lord. You understand? I happen to be there by chance and then, what? So this is how the whole theory and understanding has kind of expanded, And we are not careful, we will be carried away by all these presumptions. You understand? And that will weaken our faith. See, faith determines your closeness to God, correct? If you are having, I think it's divided into 3 classes, right? First class, second class, and third class. Is it not? I think it's 1672 or something. 1669, 72, something. Madhya. So according to your faith, that determines your advancement in spiritual life,
1772, right?
Yeah, 69, 72.
1772, right?
You see? Is it 69? Right? 16, 6.
No.
Madhya. $72, 16. 16.
No, it's 16, no?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking. You go one verse before this.
Before?
One verse before this.
Before?
Can you read this?
Huh?
I see the English. Okay, we start here. So this is, I think this Kuliligram, they make the silken rope for the Jagannath Rath cart. So they ask this question, please let me know who is actually a Vaishnava and what are his symptoms. Understanding his mind, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and gave the following reply. Purport. No purport. Next one.
कृष्ण नाम निरंतर जहार वदने हे वैष्णव श्रेष्ठ भज ताहार चरण. A person who is always chanting the holy name of the Lord is to be considered a first-class Vaishnava, and your duty is to serve his lotus feet.
So this is the symptom of a first class. What's he doing? Always chanting. Can you read the purport? I think the purport is very important.
Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that any Vaishnava who is constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord should be considered to have attained the second platform of Vaishnavism.
Here it says second platform.
Such a devotee is superior to a neophyte Vaishnava who has just learned to chant the holy name of the Lord.
So a neophyte just learned to chant,
A neophyte devotee simply tries to chant the holy name, whereas the advanced devotee is accustomed to chanting and takes pleasure in it. Such an advanced devotee is called a Madhyama Bhagavat, which indicates that he has attained the intermediate stage between the neophyte and the perfect devotee. Generally, a devotee in the intermediate stage becomes a preacher. A neophyte devotee or an ordinary person should worship the Madhyama Bhagavat, who is the vaya medium. In his Upadeshamrita 5, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Pranatibhishcha bhajantam isham. This means that Madhyama Adhikari devotees should exchange obeisances between themselves. The word nirantara, meaning without cessation, continuously, constantly, is very important in this verse. The word antara means interval. If one has desires other than a desire to perform devotional service, in other words, if one sometimes engages in devotional service and sometimes strives for sense gratification, his service will be interrupted. A pure devotee, therefore, should have no desire other than to serve Krishna. He should be above fruitive activity and speculative knowledge. In his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadyanavratam anukulyena krishnam shelanam bhakti. This is the platform of pure devotional service. One should not be motivated by fruitive activity or mental speculation, but should simply serve Krishna favorably. That is first-class devotion. Another meaning of antara is this body. The body is an impediment to self-realization because it is always engaged in sense gratification. Similarly, antara means money. If money is not used in Krishna's service, it is also an impediment. Antara also means janata, people in general. The association of ordinary persons may destroy the principles of devotional service. Similarly, antara may mean greed to acquire more money or enjoy more sense gratification. Finally, the word antara may also mean atheistic ideas, by which one considers the temple deity to be made of stone, wood, or gold. All of these are impediments. The deity in the temple is not material, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Similarly, considering the spiritual master an ordinary human being, Guru Naramati, is also an impediment. Nor should one consider a Vaishnava a member of a particular caste or nation. Nor should a Vaishnava be considered material. Charanamrita should not be considered ordinary drinking water, and the holy name of the Lord should not be considered an ordinary sound vibration. Nor should one look on Lord Krishna as an ordinary human being, for he is the origin of all Vishnu Tattvas. Nor should one regard the Supreme Lord as a demigod. Intermingling the spiritual with the material causes one to look on transcendence as material and the mundane as spiritual. This is all due to a poor fund of knowledge. One should not consider Lord Vishnu and things related to him as being different. All this is offensive. In the Bhakti Sandarbha 265, Srila Jiva Goswami writes, Namaikam yasya vachi smarana pathagatam ityado deha dravinadi nimittaka pashanda shabdena cha dasha aparadha lakshante pashanda mayatvat tesham. In the verse beginning Namaikam yasya, we find the word pashanda, godlessness. The word literally indicates misuse of one's body or property, but in that verse it implies the 10 offenses against the Lord's holy name, since each of these leads to such godless behavior. The Mayavadis look on Vishnu and Vaishnavas imperfectly due to their poor fund of knowledge, and this is condemned. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.246, the intermediate Vaishnava is described as follows. Ishvaretadadhineshu balisheshu dvishatsu cha prema maitri kripopeksha yah karoti samadhyamaha. The intermediate Vaishnava has to love God, make friends with the devotees, instruct the innocent, and reject jealous people. These are the four functions of the Vaishnava in the intermediate stage. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 2264, Sri Sanatana Goswami is taught, Shraddhavan jana bhaya bhakti adhikari uttama madhyama kanishtha shraddha anusari. One who is faithful is a proper candidate for devotional service. In terms of one's degree of faith in devotional service, one is a first class, second class, or neophyte Vaishnava. Shastra jukti nahi jane dridha shraddhavan madhyama adhikari she mahabhagyavan. One who has attained the intermediate stage is not very advanced in Shastric knowledge, but he has firm faith in the Lord. Such a person is very fortunate to be situated on the intermediate platform. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 2267. Rati prema taratamyem bhakta taratam. Attraction and love for God are the ultimate goal of devotional service. The degrees of such attraction and love distinguish the different stages of devotion: neophyte, intermediate, and perfectional. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 2271. An intermediate devotee is greatly attracted to chanting the holy name, and by chanting he is elevated to the platform of love. If one chants the holy name of the Lord with great attachment, he can understand his position as an eternal servant of the spiritual master, other Vaishnavas, and Krishna himself. Thus, the intermediate Vaishnava considers himself Krishna Das, Krishna's servant. He therefore preaches Krishna consciousness to innocent neophytes and stresses the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. An intermediate devotee can identify the non-devotee or motivated devotee. The motivated devotee or the non-devotee are on the material platform and they are called Prakrita. Please don't make noise. No sound, please. The intermediate devotee does not mix with such materialistic people. However, he understands that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and everything related to him are on the same transcendental platform. Actually, none of them are mundane.
So you see how the three classes are there. I think we can read more, 22, 64, 65, 66, 67. So all these verses are all, so according to your faith, you are classified. And as Prabhupada says, the third class devotee is very dangerous position because you will fall down. If you at least should come to the second class platform, of course the first class, there's no question of fall down. So you see how this third class position is very, very dangerous. I think we go 2264. So you see how to strengthen the faith. The first class devotee, he what? Firstly, he is very well versed in the Shastra. And is constantly chanting Krishna's name. Yes.
It's a small purport.
This is 64.
Hmm.
I think we read that just now. This is a purport.
Purport is small.
Okay, we go to 65, 66, 67. No purport. See here, this is the first class devotee, one who is expert in logic, argument, and the revealed scriptures and who has firm faith in Krishna is classified as a topmost devotee. He can deliver the whole world. We see the position of Prabhupada. Right? Not that you artificially brand yourself as first class and you can't even deliver nobody. Huh? Next verse. You want to read?
Yes, from Sanskrit verse. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
I think it's 67.
This is 67.
Okay. So one whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. By gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of first class devotee. Next. So you can read this one.
Reading from CC Madhya 2271. Rati prema taratamya bhakta taratama ekadasha skandhe tara karyache lakshana. A devotee is considered superlative or superior according to his attachment and love. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the following symptoms have been given. Purport. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has stated that if one has developed faith in Krishna consciousness, he is to be considered an eligible candidate for further advancement in Krishna consciousness. Those who have faith are divided into three categories: Uttama, Madhyama, and Kanishta, first class, second class, and neophyte. A first class devotee has firm conviction in the revealed scriptures and is expert in arguing according to the Shastras. He is firmly convinced of the signs of Krishna consciousness. The Madhyama Adhikari or second class devotee has firm conviction in Krishna consciousness, but he cannot support his conviction by citing Shastric references. The neophyte devotee does not yet have firm faith. In this way, the devotees are typed. The standard of devotion is also categorized in the same way. A neophyte believes that only love of Krishna or Krishna consciousness is very good, but he may not know the basis of pure Krishna consciousness or how one can become a perfect devotee. Sometimes in the heart of a neophyte there is attraction for karma, jnana or yoga. Why there is so much sound there? Why everything has to be moved and rattled and everything? Why? Don't talk. Don't talk. Don't talk at all. When he is free and transcendental to mixed devotional activity, he becomes a second class devotee. When he becomes expert in logic and can refer to the Shastras, he becomes a first class devotee. The devotees are also described as positive, comparative, and superlative in terms of their love and attachment for Krishna. It should be understood that a Madhyama Adhikari, a second class devotee, is fully convinced of Krishna consciousness but cannot support his convictions with Shastric reference. A neophyte may fall down by associating with non-devotees because he is not firmly convinced and strongly situated. The second class devotee, even though he cannot support his position with Shastric reference, can gradually become a first class devotee by studying the Shastras and associating with a first class devotee. However, if the second class devotee does not advance himself by associating with a first class devotee, he makes no progress.
So you see this point here? So if you are second class, but you don't associate with the advanced devotee, then he makes no progress. So associating with pure devotee is always very important. Not that I become second class, I don't require to, You see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur make this very important point.
There is no possibility that a first class devotee will fall down even though he may mix with non-devotees to preach. Conviction and faith gradually increase to make one an Uttama Adhikari, first class devotee.
So you see, this is why we are bringing this subject up today. What relevance has it got with this moon and stars and whatnot? Because it's all based on faith, If you are not going to strengthen your faith, then it's going to be detrimental. You understand? Associating non-devotee doesn't mean that you just sit and talk with them. You are also reading a lot of things that are, what? They are propaganda, is it not? All the news, the YouTube, this, that, is it not? And you are hearing it and you are listening to this. And usually we believe what we read and what we see. Yeah? So you see how that can wear away our faith. Yeah, because third class position, when he associates with non-devotees, then he will fall down. He will what? You follow? So therefore we have to be very cautious how to mold our faith. And that only can be strengthened by associating with the first class devotee. Associating first class devotee also means that we associate with Prabhupada by reading and, you know, understanding his purports. That gives us the base. Otherwise, I've seen in our whole generations of young people who come here and take Krishna consciousness and at the same time spend a lot of time in the school. Most of the time they end up having no faith in this process at all. Hardly even come to the temple. What would be the consequence? Fall down is inevitable. I mean, can you imagine you're going to fall down? You like the idea? Think about it. Yes. Hmm? So we cannot at any point of ever Krishna consciousness compromise with the modern so-called materialistic science. We cannot. Yes. At least the theory of the moon and sun and stars, we cannot accept. Not that we accept everything else, We understand that everything else is Krishna has got his hand behind it. Then, yes, our understanding is mature. But you try to understand anything without giving credit to God, Krishna, then it's subject to a lot of problems. All right, I'm going to stop here. Have you got anything to add? I mean, I don't know, Everything is based on their pictures and movies. How do you know? There's no independent person to verify these things. All they show you some rocket going up and landing somewhere. And then they say this is landed here, landed there. Is there a third party person to observe, the rocket, There's no such Yes? And everyone is in the game, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I mean, if I say you are bogus, then what happened to my program? So it is all very what? Of course, we base our thing on Shastra. That's now I quoted you verse 1087:25. Anything that is based on matter is coming from a mistaken. We cannot accept things based not on absolute truth. Yes? In fact, there was a previous incarnation of Lord Buddha. At that time, they were all using spaceships and going to different planets,
And attacking them.
Huh?
Seems they were attacking the other planets.
Yeah, they were doing that. And the Lord has to come down as Lord Buddha to bewilder their brains that they don't know how to do that. See? So it is not that there are no planets there and nothing down there. It's all very... You understand? So better to develop the faith in God, which will carry you back to Godhead, than to develop faith in this science, and I don't know where you go. Yes?
One more. So in 1087-37, when you are showing the verse, we saw something, even my one is also repeat what we said. 1087-37. So it is said that who believes this word is substantially real is less intelligent or not intelligent. Even Brahma Satya Jagannathya, they are saying it is not real.
No, the Mahavadis are correct. The only point is that they say it's illusion. We say no, it's real.
But here it is said it is unreal. 1087:37, here it is said, certainly those who believe that this figment of the imagination, that means the material world, is substantially real are less intelligent.
substantially real or
So
less
if those who
intelligent.
consider material world as real are less intelligent, but we say the material world is real, the Mayavadis say it is unreal.
So you see, our understanding is that it has to be based with the Lord. You understand? If you try to understand it independently and think that it's substantially real, independent from the Lord, then you consider less intelligent.
And also it's a temporary reality, it's not a permanent reality.
Not that's why asaswatam what? Dukalyam asaswatam. Anityam asukam. So the devotee's understanding is perfect because they see the Lord's hand in everything. But the Mayavads, they are seeing everything without the Lord. It is all some Brahman, some light. Even the Lord is Maya, they say. So how can they come to a correct understanding? You follow? So we have to understand this thing. Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is the source of nothing exists without me. Yes? I think it's 9495. Just see my mystic opulence. I'm in and I'm not in. Correct? We go on this point 10, 14. What is that verse? 10, 14?
Sarvametadhritam manyam.
Sarvameta ritam manye mam vadasi. Yes. I accept. Arjuna is, that's it. Whatever you say, I accept. I don't want to fight or deny. And then he adds, neither the demigods nor the demons can understand you. You see why the demigods and the demons cannot understand? Because this requires devotion, no? Yes? So try to understand this position of Krishna consciousness. It's not some kind of a what? Straight thing, Huh? It requires Krishna wants to see how you are surrendering. You follow? So that's why Rupa Goswami kept that verse, no? Anya Bilasita Sunyam. Jnana and karma anavritam. There's no mixing. You cannot say our devotional service mixed with karma and mixed with jnana. Free from all this speculation. I mean, this is another whole class. Bhakti Mishra Karma, Bhakti, what's that? Jnana Mishra, there's a whole class on it. I think I gave that class in Russia. I spoke on all these verses. I think it must be there in Russian video or something. So the point is this, that you cannot mix it up, It has to be what? In its pure form. And pure form means to accept Krishna as 10%. Just like Arjuna's example, I accept totally. I totally accept as to all that you have told me. No element of doubt. Nothing. No what? If you have some kind of doubts, then you have to clear it up. If you don't, then these doubts will always what? Grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And it will fracture your faith. It will what? Fracture your faith, and that's it. It seems like, oh, you cannot make advancement. You stay in the third class platform and you have a problem. You have a what? A problem. That's why you at least come to the second class, you preach. Second class is what? He understands God, understands the devotees, preach to the innocent and reject the envious. You follow? That's why preaching is so important. Everyone, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yare Deka Tareka, you speak, you please speak to anyone you have, tell them about Krishna. That will give you a lot of strength. If you don't preach, you seem quiet. What? Every time quiet. Somebody asks a question, I don't know. I see many devotees. No, Prabhu is asking something, I don't want to get into trouble. If I say something, then trouble, no? I quiet. Huh? Dangerous. It is what? Dangerous. Understand? So be cautious. Don't think this is all, somewhat something you want to become friend of everybody. If I stay quiet, I become friend of everybody. This is the dangerous nonsense. When you are not in the first class platform and you try to see everybody equal, you will fall down. You will what? That is in mantra 5 of Nectar of Instruction. Anyone who imitates the first class devotee, he will fall down. Dangerous. So please be cautious. Just preach what you have learned. That way your faith will increase. If you don't know, you come and ask. The devotees are here who can tell you how to do, what to answer, how to say. But if you don't want to do that, then you are risking yourself. Risking? All right, we'll stop here then. Thank you. 11? 11, 22? 6. Yeah, I know that verse. The
like
pure devotees, they are not bewildered,
No, it's all the arguments ultimately they all describe the same reality.
But a devotee, he can see through that thing. I quoted that verse, 11, 22, 6. You can take it out and show. But this verse, 10:87:25, I tell you, it's a thing that shows how your faith can be wrecked, If you don't surrender to Krishna, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Bhagavatam 11:26 Yasam Vyadikaraad Asid Vikalpo Vadatam Padam Prapte Samadame Pyeti Vadastam Manushamyate. By interaction of my energies, different opinions arise. But for those who have fixed their intelligence on me and control their senses, differences of perception disappear, and consequently the very cause for argument is removed.
This in conjunction with 6:4:31.
Yeah.
6:4:31 is quoted by Gopinath Acharya. So why they cannot come to any conclusion? Because Krishna will bewilder their mind. You understand? You cannot try to figure this out by your own mental strength. That's not possible. And that's what all these scientists and professors and all these guys are trying to do. Trying to figure it out, and write some thesis. You go and see the university, so many theses. I don't know what they're going to do with it. All throw it away or something. Huh? You see that? This is 31.
Yeah. Yachaktayo vadatam vadinam vai vivada samvada bhuvo bhavanti kurvanti chaisham muhuratma moham tasmai namo nanta gunaya bhumne. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities. Acting from within the cores of the hearts of all philosophers who propagate various views, he causes them to forget their own souls while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus, he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my obeisances unto him.
Another verse, 39. 6:4:39.
29 or 39? 29, right?
This is 31 or
29.
29. You see, you cannot come to any conclusion with your material mind. It is not possible. See that?
यद्यन्निरुक्तं वचसा निरूपितं धियाक्षभिर्वा मनसोतयस्य मा भूत्स्वरूपं गुणरूपं हि तत् स वै गुणापाय विसर्गलक्षणः. Anything expressed by material vibrations, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by material senses, or concocted within the material mind, is but an effect of the modes of material nature, and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, for He is the source of the material qualities in creation. As the cause of all causes, He exists before the creation and after the creation. I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto Him.
You cannot figure it out with all your periscopes and telescopes. It's not possible. No, spacecraft, what? Huh? Unmanned spacecraft, and you land down there, and then have a mobile rover, and you took some soil, and come on, you expect me to believe all this? What is the conclusion of that? Huh? Yes? You understand? You don't want to accept the supremacy of the Lord, then all your nonsense is a waste of time. All is that what? What is that word? Shramameva kevalam? Dharmam swasista pumsam visvaksena katashi. Not paret yadi ratin shramam eva. Waste of time. I mean, the whole thing is that why we are rotting here in the material world? Because we forgot God, correct? And if we are going to do a system where we keep forgetting God, then something is wrong. It doesn't make any sense. This is stupidity. This is what? Pure stupidity. So don't fall for that. Try to go on a path where you increase your faith. And you can only do that by association with devotees. You cannot do that by associating with so-called material scientists and philosophers and whatnot. It's not going to happen. It's not. Intelligence will be bewildered. And your faith in God will be eroded. And what will happen to you next life? Think. Dangerous. All right. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. I think this was my class after a long time.
Yeah.
This is the first class after a long time.
Last week,
Gita I took, but Bhagavatam is my long time I not.
They say that anything which is expressed by material part of mind cannot is your
That verse, the Lord is Ajokchaja. Ajokchaja means he cannot be approached by any material sense. It's not possible. Seemingly, their theories are all looks like wow, very, because you are bewildered. You understand why you want to go in that direction? Be careful though.
Wait.
Chanting this mantra, Om Bhu Bhuha Swaha, for millions of years, and they said it is bogus. How does it work? Yeah? By mantras, because India is going the other way.